Brennan's View condos are presented by Irish Realty. Only a few luxury units remain. Tailgate on the Brennan's View's rooftop deck, just steps from Eddy Street Commons and the Notre Dame campus. Take advantage of a $2,500 buyer's upgrade package through the end of November. Check out brennansview.com or irishrealty.net.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Singer and Tim Hyde with our Notre Dame postgame show, brought to you by Brennan's View Condos, presented by Irish Realty. Notre Dame falls 38-27 to end the regular season in a eight-win regular season. Irish fall to 8-4. Tim, your initial reactions? Notre Dame losing in this ballgame.
Initial reaction was I don't think anyone on who watches college football thought USC would out physical Notre Dame today, and that's my biggest takeaway. Is I thought SC just took it to them. I thought they out-schemed them on offense. I thought Lincoln Riley was a stud today. Did so much pulling against basically just a six-man box all game because Notre Dame sits in nickel so much with two high safeties, and they got gashed on the run, and that's exactly what happened. So that's my initial take. The first half, both teams only had 3 possessions. It was like playing Navy. Yeah. So you're going into halftime thinking, all right, this is perfect Notre Dame possessions. That Mitchell Evans stuff was a killer. Notre Dame, that one drive was just total Notre Dame, total mojo, and got killed. But SC running the ball at will in the second half, 5 red zone trips, 5 touchdowns by SC. That's been the story of most of Notre Dame's 12 games, is the red zone's been atrocious on D, and SC went in there and scored at will. Multiple 75-yard drives. Pull up the drive chart, Mike. It's like it was frustrating because a couple times Notre Dame got back in the game. Boom, SC goes 75 yards. And I hate to laugh, but what did I say on Friday? Do not have Caleb Williams win the Heisman. And guess what? He is going to be the 3rd USC Heisman Trophy winning quarterback that put on a show against Notre Dame. Carson Palmer in 2002. I hate to say it, Goolsby. I'm sure he'll talk about it tomorrow. Leinart in 2004 and Caleb Williams tonight. So Notre Dame's going to be tied with SC now, right, in Heisman trophies, and they have themselves to blame on defense in those 3 games. But that's a killer. That's a killer when you look at that. And just the physicality. Notre Dame had 100 yards until the sack. That last sack knocked them down. They had only 100 yards rushing in this game, which is pathetic. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. They didn't run the ball. They didn't out physical USC's defense, and the best football player in the country won the football game for him. There's my commercial.
Yeah. It might be Notre Dame's last game with Michael Mayer in an Irish uniform. With Notre Dame falling to 8-4, it's doubtful that they're going to play in a bowl game. That is notable enough for Mayer to risk injury and play in that. Tim, what do you think is the turning point of the game? You mentioned the Caleb or the Mitch Evans stuff. I think the fumble on the exchange, that if Notre Dame goes and scores on that, it's 17-14.
Yep.
But instead, USC goes down and scores 24-7. That was huge.
Oh yeah, they're all. You had to score today, and those were drives where you're moving, you're getting down there into USC territory, and you get no points. Total yards. Stats are stats. Total yards almost, or each team had 400 yards.
Yeah,
it basically came down to 2 turnovers. Really, I count the Evans as a turnover. I'm not, the Pine interception is atrocious, but that is what it is. He had Colsey wide open. I don't know why he doesn't throw the damn ball to Colsey. Reese is saying that in the phone.
No, Styles,
throw the ball to Colsey right behind Mayer, who's uncovered.
Same thing. Yeah.
But it's like, my Lord. And but yeah, that exchange, which was going to be the play they've run 100 times this year, the motion off the zone read, dump it. It's a boot pass. It's wide open, and he fumbles it. So you got, and then the Evans stuff. That's 2 turnovers right there. So that's 2 possessions that you give SC, and there's the score. 2 possessions wins the game.
Yeah. All right, folks, please do, if you're joining us live or watching back, please do hit the thumbs up on this video. It really helps support our channel. And please subscribe for more Notre Dame football and recruiting content. And if you are with us live, you can drop a super chat like Rick already has, and I'm sure others will throughout the show. We will get to anything you want to discuss right away. Or if you're watching back, you can drop a super thanks, which is just your way to support the show if you are not watching live. And speaking of support, I'd be remiss to mention, or if I didn't mention, again, our sponsor for the show, Brennan's View, brought to you by Irish Realty. Only a few luxury units remain. Tailgate on the rooftop deck, just steps from Eddy Street Commons and the Notre Dame campus. Take advantage of a $25 to $100 buyer's upgrade package through the end of November. That is brennansview.com. Okay, few super chats. Paul says, did Notre Dame offer a scholarship to Caleb Williams? This is something we didn't have our live show on Wednesday that we usually do because, it was Thanksgiving week. I was traveling and everything, but it was the week prior. Or maybe our post-game show last Saturday, I said, I kind of explained that Notre Dame was all in on Tyler Buckner in the 2021 recruiting class. Caleb Williams is from Gonzaga High School in D.C., which is, these D.C. Catholic schools are, Notre Dame friendly. But yeah, Notre Dame did not offer him a scholarship. They offered 2 quarterbacks in the 2021 class, 3 if you include Ron Paulus. So yeah, they just zeroed in on Buckner. But Paul, appreciate the super
Can I say
chat.
something to that?
Go ahead.
Because I know that people are going to say that, but Caleb Williams went from Washington D.C. to Oklahoma. The guy was going to go play in a wide open running gun spread offense, which is the polar opposite of Notre Dame. So I don't think it. And they were recruiting Buckner. Let's go back. They were recruiting Tyler Buckner since his freshman year. So they are, they had their quarterback. That's who they locked in on.
Yeah. No, never know. Okay. Lots of discussion in the YouTube chat about Drew Pine. Rick believes, that Pine is a problem, fumble and interception, tackling. What did you make of Drew Pine today? Obviously the fumble was huge. The INT down 10 with less than 5 minutes trying to make a play. Missing Styles was obviously not ideal, but I'm not good. There's so many other things that happen throughout the game. I'm not gonna, crap on him for that. But the fumble is obviously a huge momentum swing in favor of USC. Pine, though, those numbers, the 23 of 26, 318, 3 touchdowns and a pick. It's one of his better games of the season. So it's like he did so well considering who Drew Pine is as an athlete and a quarterback. But it's hard to kind of overlook these errors. What do you think, Tim?
They had 90 yards rushing, SC 204. That's the football game. Drew Pine did not lose them the game. Obviously, the fumble was a killer. The interception, sure, down by 10, but you're 5 minutes. They were trying to rally. They're down by 10. They weren't even stopping SC anyway. So I don't think he's the problem. I thought he played his tail off. He started 15 for 15, I think. Yeah. They're all, just dinking and dunking. Notre Dame they throw for 300 yards and they lost because that's not their game. Their game is to smash the ball, play action, do those types of things, which they've had success on. And when you're Notre Dame football and you run for 90 yards, I go back with the last week, people are griping about they're not up for the Joe Moore Award. They rightfully do not deserve it. SC is obviously going to be a finalist. Michigan probably won the darn award today. Notre Dame did not blow SC off the line. So I thought Pine was efficient. Once again, how many times is this guy going to hit Colsey over the middle for first downs? He did it again. So Pine did some good things. The fumble's a killer. The Evans, and real quick on the Evans one, because that's Notre Dame had punted on their first drive, and they're driving down there after SC had already, had a touchdown and a field goal. Boom. If they, and then the last drive, they scored a touchdown. So that Evans one's is a killer because they could have, that ball game could have been tied going into halftime possibly. But the story of the game to me, sitting back, is, man, defense just drives me nuts. And they really do, Mike. Here's Notre Dame goes down 80-yard scoring drive in the first half, scores to make it 10-7. Boom. Notre Dame defense lets them go 75 yards right down the field, scores right before halftime. And again, in the second half, Notre Dame scores. SC goes right down the field and scores again. Notre Dame just did not have any stops when it mattered to just get any momentum whatsoever, because they were fighting uphill right from the get-go, right from the very first drive that SC goes down and gets points. So touchdown drive to start the game, 75 yards again. Something about Notre Dame giving up 70-plus yard drives. There are a ton of them this year.
Yeah. Look, folks, like this comment from Jeff, Pine Reese, who's to blame?
Oh, neither.
I always say this in our shows, like the easiest, like everyone just always blames the offensive coordinator quarterback. Like there was just so many more problems than those two guys. Like there was a sequence. Tim, do you remember that the toss to Diggs on the short side of the field? That was like, why are you? I hate a toss to the short side of the field, and they gave it to Notre Dame. Right, they got the first down. The next play, fake toss to Diggs to the short side of the field, and then Pine rolls out to his right and throws to Mayer for a 2-yard gain. I'm thinking like that's something I would do, as an 8-year-old in Madden. Like, oh, I'm gonna run the toss and then fake the same next. Who are you fooling with that? So, but there's so much more. Let's look at the drive chart. Let's take out the last drive where USC kneeled it out, right? Sure. They scored on all of their possessions.
Look at this.
There's just so much more than Drew Pine and Tommy Reese. The defense did not get the job done at all. Go ahead.
And real quick on the toss, if people want to, why are you doing that? Notre Dame's trying to kill the clock. They did their game plan. You could hate it, whatever you want. They held SC the drives. That was the goal. But what's so funny is that SC held Notre Dame to drives because SC was just pounding the rock. They went on one of their drives. They chewed up almost 6 minutes on the clock. Notre Dame did not get off the field time and time again. Caleb Williams is a stud, and they had no answer for him. Me and Mike Goolsby were texting during the game, just talking D. We didn't even I don't think Mike and I even said a word about the offense. It was nonstop defense, just fits, run fits, some blitzes. Al Golden went into this, Dick LeBeau from the Pittsburgh Steelers days, zone blitzing all over the place, and lanes were just everywhere in the run game. No one ever seemed to have Caleb Williams on the QB keeper. He was open all game long. It was a mess defensively and schemes. And I think that's to me, that's the biggest talk. Of course, they held, SC under their quote unquote scoring average, but 38 points.
Yeah, not by
they should not have. It should not have been. It was 5 drives in the red zone, 70-yard plus drives, just chewing clock against Notre Dame.
Yeah. All right.
They were top 20 D. They were 17th in defense coming into this game, 17th in the nation in defense. They have improved drastically this season, and then they got chewed up today.
Yeah, I just saw a comment about the linebacker play. I lost it, but linebacker play, and Goolsby's going to have a field day. I hear this from Justin.
Missed tackles.
Yeah, Goolsby will have our Goolsby show 7 p.m. Eastern time Sunday night. But
just fits. It's all about fits. And Bertrand had 2 TFLs today that could have helped Notre Dame in drives. He didn't make the tackle. It was a frustrating game. I know, and chatting with Mike during the game.
Yeah. All right, we're going to continue to talk USC Notre Dame, and then we're kind of going to take a step back and kind of reflect on the entirety of this season. We're going to go through some super chats. Wicked Bronco Production says the fact that USC think they're so good. Talking about transfers, the holding. Why don't we pay for play? We can let the chat talk about paying for players, but the holding, there's a lot of I saw a lot of complaints on social media about the USC not being called for holding at all. Tim, did you see that yourself? A lot of bad calls by the refs or no calls?
Yeah, but I learned a long time ago, don't sit and complain about the refs. The refs did not allow Notre Dame to not tackle Caleb Williams and some of those screens and some of those other passes. Sure, was there some holding? Every game. How many times am I on here, Mike, talking about Riley Mills is getting his jersey ripped off? Foskey was getting held like crazy today. Adamiola, number 57 at D tackle, was a stud today. I thought Adamiola and Foskey, those two seniors, are they going to play in a bowl? Probably not. They gave it. I mean, they emptied the tank today. Some of these guys did. So the back end, I don't think did as much, but some of those dudes in the front definitely did. I don't think Holden cost them the game. Some situation they had 4 on one drive, so I guess they caught up to it eventually because they were probably so bad. But I don't know. Those things all even out when you lose by 2 scores. I'm not going to complain about refs. That's just me.
Yeah. Rick says A&M won at least. Yep. LSU dropped them to 3. Their 3 losses on the season. They will not be making the college football playoff. ND Nation says Caleb was the problem. End of story.
Yes.
I mean, his numbers.
High five to that guy. Thank you for the super chat. I said it. I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks on our message board. People have been mocking me. Oh, Hyde doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, Caleb Williams is better than Stroud. He's better than Drake May. Caleb Williams is a dude.
Not eye-popping numbers. 18 of 22, 232 and a touchdown. Running the ball, 3 scores. He just made plays when his team needed it. It was insane.
Yes.
I think his best throw of the day was that where he just ran around like a wild man back there and finds his receiver laid over the middle and he drops it. Holy crap.
He's done that every game. I mean, that's the thing. I know when you and I, we text in the fourth quarter, I'm just like, nothing really surprised me. I'll be honest with you. I've watched so much USC football, especially lately, catching up with some of their earlier games I didn't watch early in the year, and I've caught up with them. Everything USC did tonight, they've done all season long. I thought their back end, I've been saying their secondary is atrocious. If Pine's on, boom, he could pick them apart. And what do you got there, Mike? Over 300 yards passing. So Notre Dame did not run the football. SC smashed the ball down Notre Dame's throat. That's where the game was won. So nothing surprised me at all in this game from SC standpoint. Caleb Williams is who he is. Them running the ball is the biggest shocker. The way they just out muscled Notre Dame is what happened. But you do that when you only have 6 players. And they played that 3. Oh, I can't wait for Goolsby to talk about this. How many times do you see the infamous Marcus Freeman 3-3 stack today? They came out in the first drive into that. SC goes right down the field. It was like, geez, Louise, here we go. And it just kept rolling from there. So frustrating.
Super chat from Hank talking about Al Golden. He says, guys looked out of position often tonight. Need those young linebackers to develop. JD got exposed. Am I wrong? But does believe in Marcus Freeman.
I don't want the word exposed. The bad fits. I mean, I rewatched a bunch of defense today going back and forth during the commercials. Some bad fits, some bad angles. Jack Kaiser takes a horrible angle on Caleb's scramble where he just runs right in the belly button of a blocker instead of taking the outside leverage to keep him in the pocket. Nothing you could do when you take bad fits. Is Golden the answer? I mean, they played, and that's what's so maddening. I know you talk about all the time, Singer, about the modern football, right? Where it's high, it's crazy, lots of points. Notre Dame has held teams under their points at times. What I can't wait to dive into in this offseason, because I'm assuming Al Golden is going to be back. It's only year 1. I'm expecting all these guys to come back. Take these recruits and all these guys return in and keep building this program under Marcus Freeman is the amount of 70-yard drives, of how many times they cannot get off the field. I mean, it's right here. The only teams that did not have multiple 70-yard drives this year is Stanford, who's atrocious. How the heck did Notre Dame ever lose that game? But that'll be a thesis paper in the offseason. And Boston College. Every single team had 2 or more 70-plus yard drives against Notre Dame's defense this year. Crazy. Marshall had more than Ohio State, for crying out loud. So Navy had 4 of them. SC 5 of them tonight. So it's frustrating. I think that's the biggest story. So long-winded answer. Golden's going to be he'll be fine. They just got to keep working out some things and get some speed. That's another thing I noticed. I think right away was the speed. I thought Notre Dame looked slow at times out there, slugging. That was pretty noticeable out there. But sometimes that SC track makes ND look slow.
Yeah. Okay. A couple more super chats to get to, but first did want to hear from another one of our sponsors. And folks, this is one I personally feel pretty passionate about, because if you're a Notre Dame fan, this is something that you're going to want to buy, and this could seriously be worth $200 and $300, and it's worth every single penny. Because this is a great way to instill Notre Dame into your kids, basically. So, folks, this book is inspired by former Notre Dame Leprechaun Mike Brown, the Leprechauns Game Day at Notre Dame. It's an officially licensed children's book that describes the beautiful pageantry of a football Saturday at Notre Dame. Follow the Leprechaun on an adventure from step-off into the tunnel and onto Notre Dame's field as he leads the team to an Irish victory. Visit lepgameday.com and enter BG22. So it's the letter B, the letter G, and the number 22 to get your author-signed copy today. To order, go to lepgameday.com, enter BG22, and it is the perfect Christmas gift, and it will be guaranteed to delight that young Irish fan in your life. Again, folks, lepgameday.com. You got the little QR code at the bottom right there, lepgameday.com. Okay, Tim, let's go back to some super chats here. We really do appreciate these super chats. Look,
Here we go.
if Devin Leary goes into the portal, let's talk at that point. But right now, the season's still going on. I think that Notre Dame should get a transfer quarterback. But talking about a done deal at this point would be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not allowed. It's tampering. You're not supposed to be doing that. So, I hope Notre Dame's not doing that, because they'd be breaking the rules. But I don't know. So ask me, if he enters the portal. But I do think that they should get a transfer quarterback. Tim, 30 seconds on this topic.
Exactly. Let's talk about it when it happens. I mean, yeah. Move on.
I do appreciate the super chat
Yes.
and all the support. Yeah. TP says they let the clock run when Notre Dame got that first down in their last drive, or second to last drive. It was after the pass to Thomas. Didn't notice anything like that, but TP, definitely appreciate the super chat and all the support over the past several months. Tim, did you have some?
No, he's talking about the Diggs touchdown. I mean, the clock. They got a first down. The clock was set. I mean, if they lost any time, it's 10 seconds. So I didn't notice much. SC would have kneeled it off anyway at the end.
I thought this was funny. Caleb Williams is also as good of a punter as John Sott. So there you go. Funny.
Add that to the oh my God, that's going to be talked about the Heisman Award ceremony. Can I just take 12 seconds and just say I can't believe I had to watch another USC quarterback win the Heisman Trophy against Notre Dame. Just I jinxed it, Mike, right? Every time I talk about one item on our Friday show, I'm going to start just talking about random stuff. I'm going to talk about guys that don't play. Okay?
No, talk about the keys to the game are the announcers, the jerseys, and the weather.
Transfer quarterbacks.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, Indy Nation. They only Notre Dame punted once.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, some guy just in the chat rooms ripping on Reese, and it's just like their game plan was to control the clock, kill the clock, hold possessions down, make it a fourth quarter ball game. I'm telling you, the downs is the killer, guys. They're dominating that drive. They go right down, they score a touchdown. We're tie ball game at halftime, right? It's the game to me felt like 2018. SC got up 10-0 in that game right away, and then Ian Book got them rallied and went on to win that game and go to the playoffs. I literally was like, this game's 2018 to me. And then the downs and then the half. But then look at the second half. They're moving the ball. But how can you complain in this game? They're moving the ball. It's turnovers, and Notre Dame could not stop the run game.
Yeah. All right, we're going to discuss this super chat real quick. Then we're going to go into let's talk big picture Notre Dame football. James McLaughlin says Marison, the linebackers, really laid an egg tonight. Any chance we see peanut butter and jelly in the bowl game? I mean, any chance? Yeah. If, Pine's shoes come unlaced or his helmet comes off, or knock on wood, gets hurt, but otherwise, I highly doubt it. But yeah, linebacker play was not great tonight. If you would have told me that one of these teams ran for 204 and the other 90, you certainly would have thought it would have been Notre Dame. But leading that. But yeah, that's not what happened.
No, I agree. I mean, sit there and talk to her blue in the face. They didn't fit on the run games. They pulled. SC's pulling counters, and then they ran the, basically the 4-wide trap, as I call it, the power, the one back power. They did a bunch, just pulling one guard. They created gaps with just their 5 linemen, and pulling guys creates gaps. That's what they did. As far as the bowl game, yeah, I have no idea. I'm expecting Pine to go in there, be the guy, go out there and, finish this season. It sounds like, especially with Clemson losing, I would put $2 Notre Dame's going to play in the Holiday Bowl against someone from the Pac-12, from what it sounds like. So, which is fine. Beautiful San Diego. They've never been there. Go out and have some fun and win the ball game.
I mean, this loss is frustrating, right?
Oh yeah,
for so many different reasons. The USC, the streak winning against USC is over. No more fun tweets about how many days it's been since Notre Dame.
God, yeah.
Yeah. So Dave 86, this is a perfect super chat. This is where I'm going. Call me rose-colored glasses if you like, but given the way the season started, 8-4 is a successful season for Freeman as a rookie coach. I would give him a B. We all know this is year 2 away. There was enough against Notre Dame versus USC today that is like, man, you get a higher level quarterback, you get more of these Marcus Freeman recruits in there, you get more explosive playmakers. There is a lot to be excited about. So I actually I thought Notre Dame and like just talent, you look at the stats, Notre Dame was 3 points off USC. Like, in my opinion, USC was not 18 points or 10 points better than Notre Dame. They just started slow, but once they kind of kicked into the rhythm, it's like Notre Dame can play with these guys, no problem. They're close. I really do think they're close, Tim. And then kind of getting into Dave's comment, I mean, Tim, after 0-2, you're like, man, you hope they can make it to a bowl game. And to get to 8 wins and a chance at a 9th in a bowl game, yeah, it's a solid season.
Yeah. I mean, it stinks because, long-time Notre Dame follower, obviously, and I had to sit and watch Michigan look like road graders today, and then you got to watch USC win, and Notre Dame's 2 big rivals are probably going to play each other in the playoffs. So with Michigan and SC in the playoffs, and Notre Dame's going to be sitting on the outside, chilling in some little minor bowl in the, towards the end of December. But you're right, man. It's, you sit back, Mike, and Notre Dame 3-3 is Stanford, right? And you're looking at the schedule ahead. You got ranked Syracuse, who's playing outstanding football. Clemson is top 5. SC's rolling at the, at that time when that went on. And I know you and I did talk one night at one of our shows talking about, all right, Tim, Notre Dame goes 2-1 against Syracuse, SC, Clemson. I'm not going to say who. Do you take it and you finish 8-4?
Hell yeah.
UNLV, Navy, BC, beat the teams you're supposed to. And you're like, hell yeah, I'll take 8-4 right now. Cause I was saying 6-6.
Yeah.
I was like, this team's atrocious. This team doesn't know what the heck it's doing. They're lost. But I was sitting there, I know a month ago for a fact, I'm like, I have a countdown for spring football. I want this season to get over with. And kudos to Coach Freeman. I mean, to put a little rose-colored glasses on it for a second, is he did. He got these guys to rebound. He got these guys to win back-to-back huge, ranked team games in Syracuse, and obviously the big clash with Clemson. And then today sucks because of the expectations to win this game. You're in the top 10. You're going to the Cotton Bowl with LSU losing, Clemson losing, whoever. I mean, someone else lost, Ohio State, but they're going to be in there. Yeah. But this set up perfectly. UNC lost, was going to knock them down. This set up perfectly for Notre Dame. Oregon, lost. They were number 8 or 9. Notre Dame's going to New Year's 6 under Marcus Freeman in year 1. Take her business against SC. SC was like, well, we're trying to go to the damn playoffs. And that's the way they played. So big comeback. I think when we all sit back and realize that, I think we're going to really respect that and say, yeah, when you go 0-2, Mike, and you lose the two of the worst teams in the country, and Marshall and Stanford, and you're going to play a Washington or a Utah, UCLA team now in the Holiday Bowl. That's what I'm predicting. Yeah, I think I think all of Notre Dame would have said, let's go for it a month ago. And that's right where we're at.
Let's talk about this comment here. So this guy says 9-4 is good enough now at Notre Dame. And yes, I know they started in 0-2. So this is just, and if we got USC fans in here, I'm kicking you from the chat. We're not dealing with you. So this is kind of one of those, it's a national championship bust. Like, if that's how you want to live your life, saying if Notre Dame does not win a national championship, fire everyone. Thank God you're not the athletic director. All right, it's not good enough. Like, fire Freeman, he didn't get it done. Like, you have to take some context. Like, there has to be context in this. I remember saying in all of our shows before the season, would you take a stinker of a year for that upside of what Marcus Freeman could do when he gets more of his recruits in here to win a national title? Like, this is I'm sure you're a smart fellow, but this is just a straight up dumb comment. Like, 9-4 is not the standard, but for this season, 9-4 is good enough. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. So go ahead, Tim.
All right, give me a little commercial break here. Let's put a couple of things in context here real quick. Number one, for everyone listening, the last time Notre Dame beat USC in the Coliseum when USC was ranked higher, 1986, everybody. 1986. There's been a lot of games with the USC ranked higher. 1986. The last time Notre Dame won in the Coliseum when both teams were ranked, Lou Holtz was the football coach. That's how long it's been. So, yeah, take a deep breath, put a few things in comment. Is 9-4 winning the Holiday Bowl the goal now at Notre Dame? Of course it's not. But when you start 0-2, then you have another meltdown in the middle of the season. It's about regrouping and rallying, and it is year one for Coach Freeman. He's going to have a top 5 recruiting class. It's the first year. I've coached a lot of football in my days. This is the first year all these dudes have been together. I'm talking the coaches. So they're all going to get together. They're going to work on some things, fix some things, and keep growing and building these things. And then, Mike, you just said it perfect. And it's funny because I literally wrote that down in my notes today at halftime. It's like, does Notre Dame Nation, do you want Brian Kelly back and go 10-2 or 11-1 this year? And let's just say 10-2. Let's go 10-2, and they're going to finish 8th in recruiting. Some of these dudes, damn well, Mike, they're not going to get if Kelly's the coach. Or would you rather go 8-4, have some big wins and some crappy hiccups, yet knowing what's going to come in the next couple of years? Give this guy a shot. And he's hired. He's not going anywhere, as you know. Let him do what he needs to do. And you know what? If it is 9-4 and it's 8-4 in year 4 and 5, he's gone. Yeah. That's Notre Dame football. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Dennis, excited about the future. Appreciate the comment and the super chat. Master Sergeant Anthony Infantryman, appreciate your service. And you should expect better. I expect better next year. I absolutely agree. Renee Martinez dropped super chat. Appreciate it. He says, I think we could have won. Drew Pine played better than expected. What do you guys think? He was out aside from the turnovers, he was that's peak Drew Pine. Like, that's as good as Drew Pine's going to play. But
they didn't run the ball.
The turnover.
They ran for 90 yards, everybody. That's the game. Notre Dame football is the ground and pound. Marcus Freeman says it every single week, and Notre Dame ran for 90 yards.
Yeah. But the turnovers sting. Because they made up for some of the lack of a ground game with Pine's passing attack.
Because they could against SC. They're so bad in the back end.
Yeah, I mean, how about hitting a dump pass finally?
Oh my God! Well,
yesterday leaks out. Pine found them. Thank goodness.
There was a play. I think it was before the fumble on that drive where he had Evans wide open on one. He didn't hit. No, it was the damn freaking the sneak on that drive. He had Diggs open on a swing, Evans on a crosser. And he just loves to stare down on a few times. I think that's what happened on the interception as well. Stared at Mayer. They doubled him. Colsey's wide open. Throw it to him, and they're at midfield, and you keep moving. So, but hey, It's his first year ever starting as well, right? So things happen.
Yeah.
It's a tough loss with the expectations of going to a New Year's Six. It's right there, and that's the killer.
I had jotted down on my notes 17-7 at half. Pine was 8 of 8 for 106 yards and a touchdown. But, USC's loading the box. They did not take any shots in the first half at all. I can only think of 2 shots that Pine took down the field. Like fades down the field.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns. The Mayor score. I didn't see I still haven't seen the final touchdown to Mayor. I was in my office getting ready for the show. I didn't even see the garbage time, but
a little seam down the middle.
Yeah, the Colsey one. Shout out to Deion Colsey. Dude must have been frustrated early in the season when he was not getting playing time. Yeah. Then he just shows up as this, hey, when it's 3rd and long, run Colsey on a 15-yard drag, and he's going to convert for you and then throw him up the 50-50 ball, and he catches his first touchdown. So huge kudos to Deion Colsey. I hope that he has proved a lot to the coaching staff what he can do, and also, get some confidence for himself moving into next year's junior season already. But I was like, man, take some shots.
But I agree. But my feeling is Notre Dame really can't take those shots. They don't. Pine's max arm is like 35 on a good day. I mean, he cannot throw it that far. He can't.
Yes, he can.
He's thrown one pass this year like over 35 yards. And I'm a big believer. And you watch Pine, I feel he has to sell his soul to go 22 yards.
No, Tim, go watch some of his touchdown passes this season.
Come on. They're all 30 at the max end. They're 30. When I'm thinking a shot, I'm talking about taking a shot. I'm talking about
he ain't throwing it 50 yards, but 40. I think
of
40.
Of course he's not throwing 50 yards, but they did in Michigan. So what did Michigan do today against Ohio State? Ohio State did the same game plan against Notre Dame today. I'm going to put cover 0 outside, 9 in the box. Michigan, you're not going to run it. And J.J. McCarthy's like, boom, I'm going to go 70. And he did it multiple times today in the game. Pine and Notre Dame cannot do that. So I get the shots, but when I'm thinking shots, that's what I'm thinking. Boom, vert on the outside, go. And really the only Notre Dame guy that could do that is Brendan Lindsay. So did they try it? No, they did not. And I have to go back and try and watch the game again to see if they tried to. But Notre Dame's game is to run the ball and throw short, and that's what they do. When they get someone with a bigger arm Mike, seriously, Mike, Drew Pine cannot throw a 50-yard pass. He can't. And Drew Pine is not the issue tonight, but he cannot throw a 50-yard pass to extend a defense and to get people to respect. Notre Dame does not have a go-to wide receiver to put the fear of God into somebody. They don't. The fear of God is a 265-pound tight end. That has been Notre Dame's defense. And, if that's wrong, so be it. That's my opinion. But Pine is not going to throw a 50-yard pass like I saw in the Michigan-Ohio State game today. He can't. He hasn't done it.
Are you done?
Yes, but he hasn't done it.
He can 40. He can throw a 40-yard ball in a football game. We've seen it this season. I don't know what YouTube chat's talking about. If I could play clips of it, I would. But we get copyright strikes. I can't. But I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So whatever.
The term shots are different to you than it is to me, so that's fine.
Yeah, just take a shot. Throw the ball down the field. 20, 25, 30, 35 yards. You can throw those.
25 yards is not a shot. That's a freaking – that's Division I quarterback play.
Dude, that's a fourth away down the field. I'll take a 25-yard gain.
I hear you. But that's a different philosophy with D coordinators. Like, okay, boom, you throw a 20-yard pass. Who gives a damn? I don't want to give up the 70-yard pass, and Notre Dame cannot complete a 70-yard pass. They know that. Go back. If you did not watch the Buckeye game today, go back and watch it. Why did Ohio State get torched today? Because J.J. McCarthy went off throwing deep balls. Can Notre Dame do that? No.
You guys like
It's
my
nothing
thoughts?
against Pine, Mike. It's nothing against Pine. It's reality.
Listen, I'm not. People are like, "Why are you defending Pine? He has a."
And I'm not bashing Pine.
I'm just saying the man can throw a 40-yard pass. He's done it this season. You guys can kick rocks if you're Mike. What are you doing? You're defending Drew Pine. I'm just saying. I'm not. Oh well, JJ McCarthy did. Well, good for JJ McCarthy. All I am freaking saying is that Drew Pine can throw a 40-yard football. Okay. He did so. He's done so. He's throwing the UNC beautiful ball to
30 yards.
Excuse me?
It was 30 yards. The Thomas, beautiful pass. Yes, 30 yards. His first few beautiful deep passes this year for touchdowns were 30. He has a max. That's what these coaches know. That's why they're not going verts with Brendan Lindsay. They're not. Because he needs time to do all that stuff and to set his whole body. I don't know. It's just me,
Threw 41-yard touchdown to Tobias Merriweather. Just saying.
To who?
Merriweather, Stanford game. It's 41.
41. There you go. 41, which was underthrown, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Didn't he have to come back?
No. Oh, God. Get out of here.
41. Yes, 41. There you go.
He can do it. That's all I'm saying. Gee, calm down. Yeah. Calm down, YouTube. You're fine. It's calm.
I love it. And I'm not ripping
Goolsby over here the other week talking about you guys just live in reality. Goolsby the other week's Braden Lindsay had that number one Sports Center catch. He's like, well, it would have been cooler if he would have jumped. Why didn't he jump? Am I living in the reality zone here?
Hey. Pine, and I'm not ripping Pine or anything, but when people are like, oh, you got to go bombs away, you got to take deep shots, they're very limited. This offense is extremely limited what they can do. And I may be in the minority thinking that, and Notre Dame Nation and whatnot, they're extremely limited. We've seen it all season long, people. Now in the bowl game, what are we going to see it miraculously spread out and go dunk it all over the place with Mayer not playing? So we'll see.
Yeah, appreciate the super chat, Roy Ard Clark. Appreciate it. You guys.
Was that to Stanford? That was God. Speaking of Tobias, where's he been for the month? So
concussion.
I know it's like
Rene Martinez looking at. I'm trying to find your guys' comments. Got to get back on topic here. I'm scrolling up through YouTube chat. I've missed some. Let's see. I'm not scrolling up a lot. Oh, the singer is always good for one freak out a show.
What?
All right. All right, Ryan B. See your super chat. Okay. All right. I think we're caught up. Houston dropped super chat and said, how is NIL and transfer portal changed the game?
Oh, easily. You could build a team in 6 weeks. SC, LSU are where they're at today because of the transfer portal. You could build a team. Back in the heyday, if Caleb Williams wasn't on this team tonight, Notre Dame wins by 20 points. They demolish SC. But you get healthy very quick, just like LSU did in the SEC, SC did, and multiple other teams have done that. You get healthy immediately because you don't have to sit there and recruit your way to build a program. Now you just go find 20 football players to fill your roster for one season, and that's what SC did this year. Yeah, it's nothing Notre Dame's going to do, is because Notre Dame's going to be a recruiting program and then handpick their guys each, where they need guys, and those guys to get in, as we've seen over the years. Two different philosophies. Notre Dame's going to always be a recruiting school.
All right. Tim, I didn't listen to a single word you just said.
That's fine. I was just answering the guy's question.
I'm not off this. I'm not here defending the guy that he's this great quarterback, but let's just speak facts. Tim, tell me
play out of how many times this year? Here we go.
Tell me what yard line you stand at. 48, 49?
Hold on. This is
right. At 48. I'm going to have to switch monitors because I can't risk this getting copyright, so I'm going to have to switch off of it, and I am going to show you where he caught the ball.
Yeah. Threw a 40-yard pass once this year. Congrats.
46, actually, Tim. So just say you were wrong. You said he couldn't throw the ball 40 yards. There's a 46.
Consistently in every single game, he cannot.
No, Tim, you're moving the goalpost. Don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that. You said he couldn't throw the ball 40 yards.
One play over 10 starts.
I just proved you wrong.
Congrats.
I just proved you wrong. You're
over 10 starts.
No, you're changing the discussion.
It's not the discussion, Mike. You are so infatuated with Pine and everything. He's not. He can't do certain things.
Tim,
Notre Dame is extremely limited with him.
Tim,
they are.
Tim, that's not the discussion we're having.
I'll say it 1,000 times.
That's not the discussion we're having. The discussion is how. See, I proved you wrong, and now you're saying, well, he can't do it consistently. That wasn't the conversation.
So I know he can't. Okay, great. I'm wrong. He completed one 40-yard pass this year. Congratulations, Drew Pine. You're at Notre Dame. You got one pass over 30 yards this year.
That's all.
Congrats.
That's all.
Congrats, the Drew Pine. Holy moly.
That's all.
And if they wanted to do more of it, they would have, but they don't. Because these coaches know what the heck they're doing. They know who they have.
He wasn't right, EK. I was right.
Exactly. Right. You could be right. It's always no problem.
I'll take the win.
Take it.
All right. Tim Miles drops a 999. He's not 1,000% correct.
I'm not.
I agree with everything you're saying here. I agree. But he was wrong on that one point.
I will say what he says down here. Our coaches covered up so many limitations this year. Yes, they did. People probably don't like that because, once again, the standard at Notre Dame, according to some, should be national championship or be angry every year. But after the first two games, that was by the wayside. Notre Dame covered up a lot of limitations, just like in the Marshall game. Buckner was 0 for 8 on passes over 25 yards in that game. 0 for 8. So Notre Dame figured out who they were, and they went on to win 8 games this year.
Yes, that was the point. That's what we were talking about.
What's that? Mike Singer was the point Tim was making, really about throwing at 40 yards.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Hey, great. Yeah, that's fine. To me, what I'm talking about is taking consistent shots in a game. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know. Yeah. He's not. Yeah, they're not. And then the one time he had Styles running wide open, he didn't pull the trigger. But I just think they should have taken more shots. Even if it's 25 to 30 yards, throw the ball down the field. They just didn't have much.
Well, they do it on the deep square ends to Colsey. That's when they hit those those are 20-yard passes. Those are beautiful square ends that Drew Pine has thrown consistently for the last 4 or 5 games. Drew Pine's been on the money on some of these 3rd and long. So he is not this, horrible guy. I know sometimes it's out there where he's like 8 for 40 passing every week. He hasn't. He's done a lot of good. He's thrown some beautiful passes. He is who he is. And he's been that way consistently this year, outside of those first few games where he was insane crazy. Then he dipped back to 50%. And then today, Notre Dame needed him to throw the ball, and he threw the ball outstanding today. Outstanding.
Have we heard from Augie's locker room yet?
No, let's go to Augie.
How about let's hear from Augie's locker room, a longtime sponsor of Blue and Gold. And folks, if you are a passionate Notre Dame fan and looking for that special Fighting Irish piece to complete your rec room, go to augieslockerroom.com, and they have a wide selection of Notre Dame Stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, autographs, and one-of-a-kind Rockney items. You can also find exclusive Joe Montana side items and famous sculptor Jerry McKenna's miniature replicas of the bronze statues that you'll find around the stadium. If Augie doesn't have it in his store, he will find that item for you. Visit augieslockerroom.com or stop in if you're in town at 1811 South Bend Avenue and see the vintage helmet display dating back to 1890. augieslockerroom.com, 574-277-ND. Guys, head over to augieslockerroom.com. All right, Tim. What else to discuss? We can go for a few more minutes.
Yeah, no.
Right, super chats. Okay, we did have one.
What you got?
Adam dropped a super chat, says Styles need to go exclusively to slot receiver. Don't disagree. Don't disagree. The lack of styles emerging this season's been a storyline I feel like we haven't talked about much. Like it's been a little disappointing to not see him break through as a number one receiver. I thought that's something that we probably expected coming in, Tim.
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's 12-game sophomore slump, so to speak. I know you had a few balls to him today and whatnot, but yeah, I think that's the biggest, when you start breaking down the entire season and who's who, some disappointments. Obviously he was on offense. I thought Cam Hart was extremely average. I know he didn't play tonight. He was average on D most of the year. This was Maris's first year playing, basically, and he was ups and down roller coaster at linebacker. So, yeah, a few guys here and there, but yeah, definitely Styles. But he's a sophomore. He's been here 2 years and still got a lot of football left to go. And go out, have a great winter conditioning, great spring, and go out and be the guy. And because next year, are they going to be a true 11 personnel with 3 wides, a Styles at slot, or are they going to be 12 consistently by trying to create extra gaps, which tonight they lived in 12 personnel most of the game with 2 tight ends. So what are they going to do without Mayer? Or is it just going to be a traditional 11, 1 tight end, rotate the tight end and get these wide receivers on the field?
I think Tommy wants to throw the ball. I think he's been a part of these teams and coach these teams now where it's just so run oriented, and I think he wants a true spread and sling the ball around. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. Ryan B said, question for the super chat: would a linebacker like Snead be able to keep up better with Caleb Williams? Yeah, no.
We'll see next year when he's in South Bend in October. I mean, he's back. Caleb Williams, by the way, everyone, we get to watch him again next year. How much fun that's going to be. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I mean, Snead's a stud, but he's a true freshman. Got a little bit of reps here and there. So we'll see next year. He's definitely going to be on the field. I would truly believe next year. That's a big question for the offseason is the speed, because some of these young guys can move and run, but Kaiser looks stiff. Bertrand is Bertrand, and Maris sometimes just gets lost out there. So if he's not blitzing, he doesn't make any plays. So it's going to be a different linebacking core next year, I think.
Yeah. Look, I know what people love, and they love a good freak out, and I'm always good for one of those to show.
Oh, it's Notre Dame quarterback. We could sit here and talk for 7 straight days about Notre Dame quarterback, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, don't think we'll be seeing a ton of Pine next year, but who knows? We had another super chat, and I'm not seeing a comment from you, Houston. So if you have something you want to pop on the screen, please let me know. How about USC having 19 transfer portal players coming in the offseason?
I thought it was in the 20s, so they must have had a few sit out.
Maybe it's that's just what I heard them say in the broadcast.
Oh, okay. I think during camp they had more. They're in the 20s. No, their running back today was the Stanford guy. Obviously Williams, the wide receiver, multiple wide. I mean, every single wide receiver is a transfer guy that caught passes today. I don't think any were true SC recruits. Up front, they had one of the offensive linemen was a transfer portal guy. The rest were starters. Defense was loaded with transfer dudes. Tons of guys in the back end playing. So yeah, SC got healthy real quick with athletes. Free agents all over the place, but you know what? I want to say something real quick on the Pine thing, on the quarterback, because people just assume. I know you go Hyde, no, but seriously, it's like
go ahead.
He's got 10 games under his belt now, right? He's got. I mean, I'm telling you, the Notre Dame quarterback thing is going to be fascinating because people obviously automatically assume we see these names all the time. The card kid at Texas. So you're telling me a guy who sat the bench for 3 years at Texas is going to come to Notre Dame and instantly be a starter? I'm fascinated by some of these names that I see out there who haven't played a lick in college, yet at Notre Dame they're going to be the guy. So the transfer portal thing, but Pine's got 10 games under his belt. He can throw 40, as we know. Let's see if he can get up to 50 next season. So what is this battle at quarterback? It is going to be fascinating because I know Pine drives people nuts, dude threw for over 300 yards today. So he can do some things. And it is, I think, the structure of the offense. What is this offense going to be next season minus Mayer and with some of these guys?
So you'll have a battle between Pine, Buckner, and Jelly, and potentially a transfer quarterback. So that will have a lot of good YouTube fodder for the off season. Brian O'Neill says, I don't know how to sign up for a super chat. This is live is new to me. Always listen on pod. Appreciate you, Brian. I always throw in. We don't even post this as a podcast anymore. I think we maybe post 2 or 3 podcasts a week, and I don't know. But the YouTube is just that. I don't know, podcast is podcast. They're fine. So we'll still give those people some pods, but to me, it's all about YouTube. This live interaction it's a lot of fun. So if you have a Gmail account, you can just log into YouTube through that. And you have to be on YouTube's website watching this. I don't know if you're watching through our Blue and Gold front page or through a tweet, whatever. But yeah, you should just be able to hit the super chat button. I can pull it up in a moment, but we'll go to a super chat from Houston. Says, just wanted you to our perfect height for a quarterback. Tim, do you have an idea there?
No. I mean, no. Yeah, I mean, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 5'10". I mean, if a guy could play, a guy could play. Caleb Williams, how tall is Caleb Williams? He's not some giant. He's a scrambling freak is what he is. But, yeah, I don't have a perfect height. Did he have a bat down today, Mike? Pine?
Pine? He did not.
He did not, right? Yeah, he did not. So there you go. Stroud did, by the way, today. I wonder if their message board freaked out. I almost texted you, by the way, during the game. CJ's trying to have a bat down. I was like, oh, my God. If this was Notre Dame, they'd be losing it.
Yeah. All right, so here's super chat. Yeah, just hit this little $sign button right here. Super chat. There you go. That's it. I've never actually done one because I'm you always doing these shows. But yeah. Perfect height. Yeah, I'm with Tim, but obviously 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5".
6'5", runs a 4.4. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's ideal. 7 foot, or be LeBron James. Yeah, be like 6'8", 250, and you can run a 4.5 and throw it 70 yards. That'd be ideal. But yeah, appreciate the super chat. Believe we had one more queued up. No, we don't. Tim, we're 58 minutes in. Oh man, the Keith Jackson hate I got last Sunday. So many.
What was Keith Jackson? What'd you talk about?
Goolsby dropped Goolsby dropped a comment on Keith Jackson, and I didn't. Keith Jackson's career announcing went till I was in 6th grade, and I just knew the voice, and I didn't know his name, and I got a lot of crap for it. So I'm 29. I don't know.
I'll send you the Keith. There's a great 20. That's funny. I just found a montage of him just maybe a couple months ago, just scrolling YouTube, right? Because he did many Notre Dame games and started watching his announcing some of his classic cliches and that. So yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah, and when I'm in my age is getting up there, and I'm going to be talking about. I don't know.
Herb Street.
And yeah, anywhere from Taylor Swift to Kirk Herbstreit to Tom Brady, and some youngster in his 20s is going to be like, who's that? And I'm going to have a moment like some of us had. Yeah. So I don't know what you want me to do. You've been trolling in our YouTube comments this entire time. I don't, what do you want me to do? My job is not to research retired college football announcers, and I know Keith's passed away. May he rest in peace. But I don't know what you want me to do, buddy. Okay, Chris.
Hold on. Did someone? I saw. So I thought someone posted Pine was not the better quarterback tonight. No one said he was the better quarterback.
Yeah,
Caleb Williams won that game with his legs today.
Yeah,
I'm just reading some of these comments. I love it.
Whoa, Nelly. Yeah, I've heard plenty of clips. Just anywho. Tim, Chris, appreciate super chat. Tim, any final thoughts before we get out here?
No, it sucks just because you lose to SC, but I mean, you don't want to sit here and be too Pollyannish and too, cuddly bears and everything. And we're so happy 8-4. Because you're not, because you still lost the first game, the last game to 2 fifth-ranked teams. You beat Clemson when they were 5 at the beginning of the year. The consensus was a 10-2 Notre Dame, right? That was the consensus for the national media. Go 10-2. How in the heck did they lose to Stanford and Marshall? But they did. Those are the 2 kickers, and hopefully Freeman was going to go in this offseason, regroup, see what they got to do. You've listed as like 18 freshmen early enrollees or something. It's like everyone's coming. It's going to be wild. So it's going to be a hell of a spring football. And Notre Dame's got, I hate to say it, Mike, but they have 3 winnable games before the Buckeyes come to town next year. So ND should be 3-0, getting ready to place Ohio State in a battle of top 10. And once again, Notre Dame lost 2 big games this year to 2 top 10 teams where they got outplayed over 4 quarters. And that's something that Notre Dame's got to break that stigma again. Yeah, I know. It just seems like Clemson in South Bend is when they break it. Outside of that, Notre Dame still can't beat these top 10 teams.
Yeah. Yes, I know who John Madden is.
Yeah.
Come on, you grew up playing the Madden game. It's all you, yeah.
One more
right.
just came in, I saw.
Okay. Domer Watt says, is it
it?
realistic that Notre Dame can effectively leverage the portal? Everything I've seen that indicated administration isn't. I think my kind of understanding is that Marcus Freeman is going to be more aggressive on wanting to get those undergrad transfers in. It's just a lot more work, and I don't think that's something that Kelly and those guys wanted to do. Yeah. Just undergrad transfers are very rare. Like I know Alohi Gilman was able to do it, but that was a rare occurrence. But I do think that Brandon Joseph was an undergrad, and that's just in Marcus Freeman's first offseason. So, I think that we're going to see more of it, but at Notre Dame, it's just going to be more difficult than at USC. They can take 20 in a year. Like it's just, Notre Dame's not going to be able to do anything like that. But, maybe one every other year, underclassmen.
And I look at it, and my whole take on this is let's take a deep breath and realize, just because a kid's in the transfer portal doesn't mean Notre Dame can get him in. Notre Dame's not going to take I won't even say a school to get in trouble, but it's not going to take so-and-so from so-and-so school because he wasn't getting into Notre Dame to begin with, right? So that's going to be a big thing here is I'm sure Freeman and his guys are doing this. So they're having a giant board, I'm sure, in one of those recruiting rooms of everyone Notre Dame has offered, everyone that may have gotten pre-screened when they're in high school that they may have a shot at. So if Joe Smith, who's at, Minnesota, who Notre Dame offered, is in the portal, hey, we pre-screened this guy 3 years ago. He might be able to get in and call him. I think that's things they're going to do. But you're right. Notre Dame's not going to go take 20 guys. Number one, they don't need it because they're a recruiting program. They're going to replenish their guys. Notre Dame's over right now. If they bring all the guys that Mike Singer's been writing about and sign, Notre Dame is over right now, the 85 scholarship limit. So Notre Dame could go into next fall. Their team is set. Obviously, guys are going to transfer and guys won't come back for a 5th year. And some of the younger guys will probably move on that are 4-string DBs and whatnot. But Notre Dame is very healthy as a roster. And I think they'll be that way at the end of spring football as well.
All right, Mr. Hyde, great work as always. We will be back Wednesday with Tim Hyde for our weekly live show. We had to miss this week because I was traveling. We will be live with Mike Goolsby Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then, make sure to keep checking our Blue and Gold YouTube page for more Notre Dame football and recruiting content. Notre Dame's going to be hitting the road this upcoming week. I'm sure the staff will be out on the West Coast to recruit their guys before heading back to the Midwest. So big time for Notre Dame football recruiting and more coverage at blueandgold.com. Head to the website and get all your post-game reading in. Appreciate everyone for watching in here. If you're just joining us recently, just head back to the beginning of the show and you can catch the replay there as well. Appreciate everyone, and we'll catch you next time.